Hello again, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games in the Game Pass collection, bringing you three neat perspectives of varying skill range. I did not do intros. I am the lucky one of this episode. Andrew, with me are Snake Eyes Keith.
Hello.
And our hidden dice that you keep in your pocket, our guest, Aaron from Superpod Saga. Thank you so much for joining us, Aaron.
You're welcome. And what to do, everybody? I see you got a live audience here. Hell yeah.
Aaron here from Superpod Saga. We just were recently on an episode. Well, I guess not recently, but we did episode 90, returning and talking about roguelikes. So Aaron here was like, spoke so highly of this game, Dicey Dungeon, that this was one of his favorite roguelikes. I'm glad you're here, Aaron.
Somehow it's eluded us. Like, how have we gone this long without Dicey Dungeon's episode?
It's been on Game Pass forever, man. I'm surprised you haven't covered it.
But I'm glad you're here because I kind of want to have a little debate here. But we'll get into this. So Dicey Dungeon this is where I'm debating about whether or not this is actually a roguelike. But I've been looking up, even on Steam, I guess it's listed as roguelike. But you are playing these dice that are trapped in a dungeon, hence its name, Dicey Dungeon. And you are trying to, essentially, it's a game show, and you are trying to win the prize to be able to return back to a human, get your prize, and go and escape the dungeon. But Dicey Dungeon's brought to you by one person, Terry Kavanaugh. But I wanted to get in a little bit of argument here. I don't know if I would categorize this as a roguelike.
So we're just skipping the story? We're good with
I did a quick synopsis of the story. There isn't too much of a story.
Yeah, no, I suppose that's fair.
But we'll get into the Game Pass too. I first wanted to bring this up. I just consider this a dungeon crawler.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's pretty fair because when you die, you start back at the beginning like you would any other dungeon crawler, I suppose, like a Shin Megami Tensei or something. Yeah, I guess that's pretty fair. A roguelike dungeon crawler? Just
how? I guess in some ways, I just don't. If you're gonna say that it isn't, then is Inscription sort of just a dungeon crawler? Is Slay the Spire? Because you just start over, and I know there's some meta progression that happens there, but in a sense, there is with this is Dicey Dungeons as well as it may only be 6 characters, but there's 6 unlockable characters, so that changes your overall. And then you have what are essentially the challenge levels, the different stories, quote unquote. Or is it stories? Something like that. Episodes.
The
episodes. Sorry, is the term I was looking for. So like that just adds different challenge levels to it. So I mean that feels similar to like a Slay the Spire and Inscription or any of the other ones I was listing.
So, but I don't fully blame you, Aaron, because it's like, okay, I got to Google this because I remember we've had people before be like, well, what actually categorizes as a roguelike? And according to Google, the actual things that categorize a roguelike are it's procedurally generated levels, turn-based gameplay, grid-based movement, permanent death, and high fantasy narrative. That's the actual, definitions of roguelike. Now,
is that the Google AI?
Yeah, well, and Wikipedia or Wikipedia.
Okay. If we're coming from the Wikipedia, then I agree.
Always trust Wikipedia. It's the official third host of Superpod Saga.
I mean, and so I guess this is why the phrase roguelite has come, because technically those are the definitions of a roguelike. And then anything other subgenres, I guess, is what's considered as a roguelite. So, because that's always been my thing of what's considered a roguelike is anytime there is permanent death, but you're always at least progressing and making your character better and unlocking new unlockables. In this, you get some new characters, but I don't know.
Which I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's not different items, but it's dynamically different gameplays for each of their things. Yes, it's dice counted against the your cards or whatever, but it's a whole different mechanic for each of the different characters versus just like, oh, here's different weapons, and each of those has different card sets associated with them.
Especially when you get to the Halloween DLC or like the reunion expansion, they everything you thought you knew, they just like mash it into a ball and throw in your face, and it's just totally brand new, man.
But I mean, because like with this also definition, I was like, man, so would you consider Diablo a roguelike? Diablo, no. I guess most Diablo 1.
Unless you play hardcore mode only. Because then you have permanent death. That's true. But and that adds a level of procedural generation. and all the things you're explaining. So then I would say, yeah, it is a
This
roguelike.
this would be a good. I'm gonna jot. This would be a good discussion. We'll have to have this on Superpod Saga sometime. Like what is and what is not a roguelike.
Is
Because
Madden football a roguelike? I mean, there's no
And-
permanent death, but I
and
mean, it's
Andrew,
turn-based. It's
Is
turn-based
pinball a
combat.
roguelike?
how long have we been doing this podcast? I turn everything into a roguelike. Like, well, when you think about it, it's really just a roguelike.
I mean, I guess
Like Yakuza, really, or Yakuza, like a dragon, kind of roguelike.
2D platformers like Mario. You start at the beginning when you die. So like,
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah.
dude, come at me, Shigeru Miyamoto.
There you go.
Is
There you go,
Solitaire
Aaron.
a roguelike?
Here you go, Aaron. You need to do another roguelike episode. It's just games that completely nobody would consider a roguelike.
April Fool's episode upcoming.
It's not a roguelike. Xenoblade Chronicles. That's the first one that came to mind. So we're off to a great start.
All right, but let's go right here. So Gamer Pass, is this a game you'd recommend? For me, I'll start off. I am going to give this a game. I was first a little disappointed at first because, well, at first, it didn't hook me that hard. And it kind of took me a while, and I was like, why is this hooking me as hard? And that's when it kind of dawned on me, where it's like, I don't know if I consider this a roguelike. But what I did like about Dicey Dungeon, this game is simple. Like, this is a perfect game to have, like, in between games. Like, there's like, I'll be playing something else, and my game crashes, and it pisses me off. Like, I just lost a bunch of progress. I just boot up Dicey Dungeon, because it's like a super quick run. It's something I could do to, like, mellow out. Or if I had a bad run in Overwatch, and I'm like, this game's pissing me off, yeah, just put on Dicey Dungeon. I play a couple runs, and I'm like, I'm good now for another game. So this is a game you could easily just put down, completely forget, in like a month, just be like, I'm going to do a couple runs of Dicey Dungeon. And it works. It's easy. It's super relaxing. The music's entertaining. The art style is awesome. So yeah, I give this a recommend.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Aaron?
Sorry.
No, you're good, dude. I mean, yeah, I would definitely give it a recommend, man. Just like Andrew said, yeah, I guess it's deceptively simple, because when you get into some of the other or not stories, some of the episodes like deeper into the game, it gets way more complex and way more difficult. Especially like I mentioned before with the Halloween DLC. Well, the Halloween one is short, but like the Reunion DLC, that one is super challenging. They changed so much in that one, and this game is just constantly taking what you thought you knew about the game, and again, it's just mashing it into a ball. Like when you get like a fruit roll up and you roll into a ball and stick it in your mouth, like that.
That's a good analogy. It's fruity, it's tangy, and it gets all stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, stuck in your teeth.
Dungeon.
It's fantastic. That's why you just gotta have a freeze dried fruit roll up. It's perfect. It still gets somewhat stuck in your teeth, but it's delicious, crunchy and delicious.
Awesome. I keep seeing these things on YouTube of people freezing those what the fuck are they called? The Airheads like sour belt things. People put those in the freezer and then like.
Oh yeah,
that's apparently really good.
Oh, I cannot imagine eating a frozen Airhead. Like those are already super tough because it's like taffy. And then you just freeze it. Like, do you want to break your teeth? Like, it's gonna be crazy hard.
I've seen people do fruit roll-ups around ice cream, and it's supposed to get all crunchy and delicious too. It's like eating an ice cream sandwich with a fruit roll-up.
Like
looks
candy
good.
bacon.
Sounds awesome. I love how much we've going all over the place.
Just thinking about this now. But anywho, Dicey Dungeon is a game for me. The thing that I struggled with is the game is simple. Like the gameplay is super simple. I found it stinking hard. I can get a little more into it. This is my only biggest issue is I feel like the AI has perfect RNG all the time. And that is my biggest gripe about the gameplay. But otherwise, I really don't have a lot of complaints. I think Andrew said it perfectly, because I played this, Aaron, you mentioned when it's been on Game Pass for like a year and a half, something like that. I think I played it within the first week, and when I played the most of it. I can't remember which character. I think it was the engineer that I had played at least actually 2 or 3 episodes through, but I still haven't unlocked the final character, and I haven't been able to since. But since it came out that first year and a half ago, I've picked it up a handful of times for the same exact reason Andrew mentioned. I'm just like, I just need something, and I don't know what it is right now, but I need to fill a little bit of time. And I always end up playing 3 or 4 runs, like an hour or whatever, and I always enjoy it. So it's definitely a game, and I hope they continue to keep it on Game Pass, and that we're not late to the game on them being like, ha, you did an episode, it's getting taken off on Friday.
Surprise.
They've done that to us before.
I'll let you in on a cool, fun life hack. It's also on mobile, so you can play this game fucking anywhere. Like, I'll be sitting in my living room and I'll be like, okay, well, I kind of feel like playing as the robot
dangerous.
right now, so I'll just be like, boop 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 boop, cell phone, and then I don't know why the fuck I did that, but yeah, it's on mobile and it plays beautifully.
What phone are you using? Totorola?
Yeah, the old Nokia brick, or I don't know any of the models. Fucking track phone.
You're throwing push in the subway. Boop, 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 playing Dicey Dungeon.
I'd say you have a flip phone as a joke, but that's like a real thing now. So
yeah, they're coming back.
That's not even that funny anymore.
That new Razor looks bitchin'.
But anyway, so yeah, the story of Dicey Dungeon. As we've kind of said, you are these 6 different characters that got duped into going onto a game show. You got turned into a dice by the evil bad lady. Lady Luck? Yeah. I keep wanting to call her Misfortune, but that's League of Legends. But every time I see like some sort of luck-based female, I'm always like, Misfortune. It's such an easy name. It's like not even that. But yeah, Lady Luck, you're on this contest, and she's basically she dupes these characters saying like, yeah, I'll give you whatever you wish. So each character has a different motivation as to why they're there. This story, of course, is just a means to an end. But it was funny. The first thing I thought of too is like, what idiot would go on this game show? And it kind of made me think. I remember growing up as a kid, you're always told, stranger danger, never accept candy from a stranger. Like as a kid, that was always implanted in my mind. As an adult, I need to be reminded that again, because I 100% would be one of these characters in the game show. Everyone at work always makes fun of me that I'm like, I will do just about anything for free food. If you're like, hey, yeah, there's like some week-old pizza, I'm like, heck yeah, it's free.
Only
and
a
so
week?
I'm like, I know I would be.
It's been refrigerated the whole time too. All right, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've always kind of made fun of that. I'm like, everyone always like, you're probably going to call out sick tomorrow. Nope, never do. Got an iron stomach. One of these days it's going to kill me probably.
No, man, I don't know about that. Yeah, someone could definitely lure me into a van with the promise of $1 million. I'd be like, oh, this is too good to be true. But you know what? This could be it. Time for me to get rich, and then I get sold into whatever, some awful shit.
Yeah, I mean, worst case, I disappear, and I don't know. They can't go after a dead person or something, right?
Well, it's funny. This literally happened to like one of my friends like a month ago. I was literally playing Xbox with him. I don't know how much detail I can give because I know he signed like an NDA. I mean, the video didn't get used. I don't know. It's probably fine. But I was literally playing Xbox with my friend, and he was like, "Man, my friend just messaged me. He said he can get me in a Mr. Beast video. I have to be at an airport tomorrow. I can't tell where I'm going. I'm not supposed to tell anyone I'm going." And like
he's being fucking kidnapped, dude.
And he's like, obviously I'm telling you guys because I'm playing video games with you guys right now. And I like, it's literally, I'm like, are you about to be kidnapped? And he's like, this kind of sounds like it. I was like, but as you aren't doing it because you're in the video, man.
Fuck, dude.
He literally got on a plane the next day and he flew to a place. He had no idea where he was going.
Yeah,
don't worry. It was legit. He didn't get kidnapped, so he's fine.
Okay,
well,
that's good
to know. But yeah, that's a good point. We should definitely maybe we need to re-educate ourselves as adults. Like, don't just hand away your information to go in a Mr. Beast video.
I know, because literally, a stranger could be like, "I want to be a Mr. Beast video. Get in this van for me." And I'm like, "All right, let's find out where this goes."
They're like, "Welcome to Mr. Beast Studios," and they bonk you on the back of the head with an encyclopedia. They knock your ass out and drag you in there.
I don't even think they'd have to. Andrew would just walk in blindly.
Andrew stays in a. I'm trying to think of like something. Andrew stays in a coffin, like in a sarcophagus, Egyptian pharaoh style, 24 hours? Question mark? 3 a.m. Fucking other YouTube title shit.
Probably do it.
That sounds legit. I'm in.
Dude, it does sound cozy as hell. Yeah, Dicey Dungeons though. Sorry.
But yeah, so that's generally the premise of this video game. Of these people, hey, you get great prizes. Come to this contest. But yeah, that's kind of about it for the story. I mean, I guess like so at the end of every episode, it's spoiler alert, you never win your prize, and you end up having to do more episodes.
Twisted Metal.
You get so
You- you
close on that wheel too, and they're
I
like,
know.
"Oh man, shucks, shoot."
I really thought I had it that one time, but I think they cheated.
Yep, might as well play again.
I know, I'm starting to feel like this game's rigged. I was expecting to get the prize the very first episode and not have to play that character ever again, and not play harder challenges.
Fuck, that'd be insane. Like you actually do
You actually
win
do
your prize,
win.
and the character is just out of the game, and it's like, oh well, shit.
Credits roll.
We really didn't have an interesting story for this one, so
do 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 do.
like,
But,
do you want to just do it again? Sure.
But that being said, I mean, has Aaron? I'm assuming you probably played the most of this. Have you beaten every episode with the character?
Not every episode, because there's some, like especially with the witch, that are just fucking nuts, dude.
I don't like the witch.
Oh, I love the witch. That's weird,
I
but
want to like her, but her gameplay irritates me. I mean, I guess we could probably just get into gameplay because I feel like there's really not much more to say.
You probably should explain that a little bit.
So with the gameplay, there are 6 playable characters. You have the warrior, you have the thief or rogue. I think it's thief. The
yeah, I think it's a
engineer,
thief.
the witch. Who else am I missing?
Did you get the robot?
Oh, the robot, and
Yeah.
then the jester.
And there's
Jester is the
also a
one I haven't
bear.
got.
Oh, well,
also,
the bear's a hidden character, which I actually did. I actually
Yeah.
did that by accident. But yeah, there's actual 6 selectable playable characters, and then the bear is kind of a hidden one you can do.
Yep.
But as you're playing, you're plopped down on a game board. Essentially, you're moving across on these grids, and you're essentially selecting your path. Are you fighting an enemy? Are you going to a shop? Are you getting some food? Think Slay the Spire. Or honestly, majority a lot of roguelikes that kind of do this.
yeah,
Go into combat. Combat's turn based. Depending on your character, everything is kind of done by dice. You have these equipment that, you need an odd dice in order to use this equipment. So you roll your dice, hopefully you get an odd dice because then you can use that equipment. If not, you're out of luck. Next turn. But yeah, that's kind of the general gist of the gameplay. Each character has its own kind of different, flavor to them. The warrior's pretty basic. Swings a big sword. He gets to re-roll some dice. The thief gets to steal some abilities from the other people. The witch, Aaron loves, but frustrates me,
dude.
has a spell book that you can kind of customize and then play and then like summon the spells and then throw the dice hoping to use the spells. She just needs too many dice. Just long story short. And that's what was irritating me with there. But what's everyone's favorite characters? As you can go, Aaron. Why do you love the witch?
I like the witch and the the robot.
I like the robot a lot. He was one of my favorites.
The robot's cool because you just what is it? You just hit the button and then it just it increases like a certain number on the gauge, and then whatever number you get is like the dice you get, and you just kind of keep doing that. And yeah, I get some really cool abilities out of that motherfucker. And then I like the witch. Sorry, my sock was falling off. I like the like the witch just because I don't know. It's weird and challenging, and I hate myself, and I like to punish myself with difficult things. But no,
I'm usually the same.
it's fun. She has a lot of really cool abilities that you can just bank into her like spell book, and they're fun to whip out every so often. But yeah, it is, especially in the later episodes, dude. It's fucking tough. It's a pain in the ass.
See, the witch to me was just so frustrating because it was the only character I legitimately lost on the first floor. I didn't think it was possible, but I lost on the first floor with the witch. And I was like, this is frustrating because she sucks so bad starting out. Like she can get good, but it just, she just can irritate me.
Yeah, it's slow burn.
And this is going to be one of my complaints first off, because I forgot when you were describing the robot. This game does not give you much of a tutorial. The robot's incredibly confusing. Like his mechanics are actually kind of confusing. Like I remember when I was first playing him, I'm like, what is going on? Like it's like overdrive and there's like electricity going on. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like this guy's kind of weird. They don't say anything. It's literally just figure the guy out, have fun.
It pretty much is, yeah. It's great though. Oh, the engineer was cool. No, I'm sticking with the witch and the robot. Witch for sure.
Are you just gonna pick all the characters?
So I think I liked any character that I felt, and I guess you could, this is maybe easy to say, is that if I could just like almost have like unlimited runs, or at least to like keep going through, like the amount of times I felt like I had dice left over, and I know the witch you could throw the dice or whatever, but I was like, I just constantly had wasted rolls, and kind of like Andrew was saying, like the witch in particular, because I liked her gameplay. I really liked that style of, you build the playbook. Which, do we even really explain like the overall gameplay, like how it works?
Yeah, I did. Were you not paying attention, Keith?
Probably that happened.
Did I not do a good enough job?
Probably not.
Do you want
But
to
also,
redo it? Do you think you
nope,
can do a better
because
job?
I just wanted to make sure. I thought you missed it, and I was going to have you do it if you didn't. So I believe you that you did. I just wasn't paying attention. Anywho, so the thing about the witch is, like you said, is that she's just so hard to get started. Is that when you don't have enough of a spell book, you have to rely on having very low rolls constantly, and it was just, I don't know. I found it constantly frustrating. But the engineer was a lot of fun, because you kind of always could play the risk reward game with no harm done. If you were like, oh, I have no more dice that I can play anyways, or I've played all my dice, I'm like, I'm just going to try and roll one more anyways, just to see what I can do. Worst case, you get an overdrive. But I don't know. I was able to build. There was like, every time I used a spell, it would waste itself, and then that would create a new base spell for me. And like, I just got in these endless loops where I was just taking enemies out in like one round.
See, and that's my biggest complaint with the witch. I feel like it's physically impossible to ever kill an enemy in one round. Any other character I was playing, I feel like I could actually build them good enough and have a good enough run and have a good enough dice roll where I could actually take out the enemy in like 1 or 2 turns. The witch, I think, is physically impossible.
Yeah, that sounds pretty right. Yeah, unless you have like a really ridiculous spell book built up, and maybe when it's like toward the end of your run. I also forgot about the Jester. The Jester's kind of cool.
I never got him.
I didn't either.
The Jester is like, instead of like having a backpack of like different cards or weapons or whatever, he has like this deck of cards that you run through. So like, what is it? He has, I forget how many dice he gets, but basically you draw like 3 or 4 cards and you put dice into them. Then he'll draw more cards, and then once you run out of dice, it's like, okay, my turn, and then like the next turn he'll just draw more cards and shit. Then he's got just some really cool abilities that are based on shit that enemies use. Pretty fun.
Oh, so all his equipment are kind of random?
Yeah, well, kind of like some of. Like there's a bunch that you do start out with in his deck, but then like the ones that you pick up in chests and shit along the way, they're pretty randomized. So like you'll start off with the same deck of cards all the time, but then you'll find more cooler cards later on.
So I saw how to unlock him, which I'm surprised I didn't. To unlock the Jester, you need to defeat him on every floor. After defeating him on all 5 floors, you will fight him as a boss. After defeating him as a boss, he'll join you as a dice player. I could have swore I did.
I think
I actually no, but I think I actually lost him as the final boss, more than likely. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it would seem you didn't do the thing if you didn't unlock him.
Touche, Keith. Touche.
I myself didn't do it, so I can't say much. But
so basically, the Jester's Balatro, the dice character.
It pretty much is, man. Have you guys touched the Halloween or the Reunion DLC at all?
I did for like a hot minute. I didn't play too much of it though.
Is that included on Game Pass?
I don't.
Yeah, it's included with the game, for free.
Even if you check it out, because I didn't
check out the Reunion though.
Dude, the Reunion's really weird too. So like, well, not really weird, really cool is what I meant to say. So like, the warrior in the normal mode is just like, yeah, big sword. You can re-roll a die or dice or whatever. But in the Reunion DLC, it's a little bit more of the same, except there's this added bonus of he gains workout cards after you beat enemies, and these workout cards can be anything from like with like 2 3s you can regain 7 health, or like if you put in like 4 2s you can call in the Jester for help, or there's also ones that permanently increase like how many dice you get. They give you a level up point, stuff like that. I forget what the other characters do, but yeah, they're totally different in the Reunion, and of course it's got
that's awesome.
New banging ass music, because that fucking soundtrack is awesome.
Yeah,
the soundtrack of this game is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I kind of wish I checked this out, because I will say this is one of the things that kind of wasn't hooking me. So anytime you beat, the runs are super quick. As we said, there's 6 floors. You fight a handful of enemies. Like there's usually, it varies from like 2. I think at most it's like 6. It's not a lot of enemies. So the runs themselves at most usually take you like 15, 20 minutes. And then you fight the boss. There you go. And if you beat the episode, then you unlock the next episode. And I gotta say, the next episodes and stuff just weren't as interesting. Like, there were only slight tweaks of like, next one's like the enemies are a little harder. The third one, so I beat 4 of the warrior, and the last one of the warrior was irritating because it's every time you leveled up. Normally, when you level up, you gain extra dice, you gain more hit points. This time around, if you level up, you lose maximum hit points. So you had to play a slightly different of not leveling up. But either way, after I did those 4 episodes, nothing changed that drastically for me. So I just kind of felt like I was doing the same thing over and over again. But now that you say like they drastically changed in the Halloween and the reunion, I kind of wish I checked those out because I was just getting a little stale when I was focusing on this game. This game, like I said, is way better if you kind of take it in spurts.
I'm gonna look up what the Halloween stuff does. I totally forget.
Because when I did it, I didn't play too much of the Halloween. I thought it was more of an aesthetic thing. So I was just like, all right, cool. It's like Halloween themed. Okay, whatever. And there's only 3 characters you can play as. I remember like seeing the description where like it offered some different things, but I was like, from what I played of it, I was just like, I'd rather just like keep playing the main game because I didn't see if there was any achievements for the Halloween and reunion. So that's why I didn't bother doing it because I was like, well, I want the achievements, so I'm gonna go for the regular game.
I don't get any achievements from this, so we can fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, achievements have ruined me. Anytime I play a game and there's no achievements, I just don't enjoy it as much. I'm like, I should be getting achievements right now. I am having a miserable time.
That's why you should get it on mobile, man. You can get those like Google Play achievements or whatever. Get them all over.
Brag about Google Play achievements.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, look at all those people going on social media. Look at my Google Play achievements.
I'm gonna fucking tweet one out right now, just to spite you. Oh fuck, I can't find it. Oh man.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm
good luck
reading
trying
the
to pull them
reunion
up.
DLC right now.
That's challenge number 1 is finding your Google Play achievements.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, you have to go to Google Play Games. That's so fucking weird how it's separate from...
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's compare Google Play achievements.
Fuck, I give up already.
I'm curious. Like, what is even mine? No, that's like the rewards.
We got a bunch from Peg. Oh yeah, Peglin just came out for Android, so I've been playing a lot of that too. Peglin's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, isn't that like the Peggle roguelike?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like I
Whoa,
think
there's a Peggle
$8.
roguelike?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I love Peggle. Oh my gosh, there's a...
How do I... What's your name on Google Play Games, Andrew?
I don't know.
You're right.
I think it's Firebird0952.
Wait. I will send you a link to mine right here in old Discord.
Like, I know it pops up when I boot up a game every once in a while, but I do not know how to access this thing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no, I think I might have just sent it to the wrong person.
But anyway, Keith.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, I guess... Well, did you say what your favorite character was?
I thought I said it was the engineer.
Yeah.
Or the robot.
Yeah, he said it was the engineer.
The one that had the overdrive thing.
Yeah, that was the
robot.
Yeah, I beat first time around with the robot, and I beat first time around with the engineer. But yeah, the warrior, I generally do not like warriors in games like this, or just in general most roguelikes. I find them so boring because it's just generic, like you swing a sword, that's all he does. Super easy to play with. It's like, yeah, okay, he's easy, but that kind of means boring. Yeah, like I'm with you, Aaron. Yeah. Whenever a game has like difficulty stars, there's someone who's hard. I am all about that. Because to me, hard means fun. And hard means if you're good with them, you're going to be very good with them. So that's when I saw the witch. I was like, oh man, she's 5-star difficulty. I'm going to be able to take her on. Nah, I freaking sucked with her. I never beat episode 1 with her. She's the only one I haven't beat episode 1 with.
Dude, yeah, she gets way better though. To kind of... Fuck, what am I had something here. Hold on. My brain's stewing. Yeah. So to compare it to like say Binding of Isaac, where you can get a lot of like really wild characters who like maybe start off with like 1 heart or some shit like that, but they have more power. Yeah, just like you said, more difficulty means more fun. I absolutely agree with that. Same with like Yu-Gi-Oh! Like if a deck, another fucking plug for Yu-Gi-Oh! From my dumbass, but like the more difficult a deck is to learn to use, it's more fun for me, I guess. I don't know.
I found your Google Play, and I like one of the first games you have is Yu-Gi-Oh here too.
Hell yeah, all the time, dude.
Yeah, I think. Oh man, oof! Look at your gamer score: 36 games, 119 achievements. Man, yeah, you need to be tweeting that, Aaron. Tweet your Google achievements.
How do
You'll
I
be the
share
first
this
one out
shit?
there.
You're my only friend on Google Play Games.
You're mine only now. Too.
You're the only two users on the game.
Hey, now,
Google celebrating right now. They're like, we did it.
Guys, there's a light going off somewhere. They're like, we just tripled or doubled our daily usage.
holy shit!
It's just like the developers of Concord over there, right?
Oh man,
that's sad.
So I saw a bunch of tweets that were like, "Oh, is this quite possibly like the speed like the speed run or like world record for like quickest game to get shit canned?" And I was like, "Hold on, bud. The Culling 2 lasted 8 fucking days."
What was that? It was a Chinese developer. It was meant to be like Zombie, The Division. It's not Days
is
Gone.
that the one that everyone said was a scam before it came out?
It literally lasted 2 days.
Division?
Yeah, what was it called? It's not Days Gone. Was it or Days Gone By?
I have no clue, man. It's not the one on like PS4.
No, it was I think just PC.
Okay.
And like every reviewer was giving it like a 1 or a 2 star. I think it literally lasted 2 days.
I want to know what this game is so I can see what it looks like. It's got to look like
Oh,
fucking
the
garbage.
The videos are so bad. Like it literally was a scam because like the things that were showing up for people, everyone's like, "This game actually looks awesome," and then when it came out, everyone's like, "Nope." The day before, I believe that was it, Javier.
The day before. There it is.
I was going to say there's also the banana game. That's a whole different conversation.
Did you see the
right?
banana game?
The banana game. Yep,
Yeah,
that's
the
a
day
good
before.
one.
This is it. The day before.
Oh, 10% on Google. 10% liked this game.
1 out of 10 of IGN. I don't think IGN has ever given the lowest score.
Yeah, I know. You know, when IGN gives your game a 2, it's bad.
Whoa.
Oh, 1, yeah. Yeah, I think that lasted 2 days. It got canned super quick too. And yeah, the developer apologized, like, we did not realize how bad this game was. Like,
Yeah, these screenshots look kind of good, actually. This dude's just working out, getting fucking jacked.
yeah, no, but when you actually watch in-game footage, it's so
Damn.
yeah.
It is in the cards, Yugi. Thank you, Javi. Man.
But yeah, so I don't know. There's much more to talk about with gameplay in Dicey Dungeon.
One cool fun life hack for that game is like, if you have if it's like if you have a card that says add +1 to a dice roll and you toss in a 6, it'll give you an extra 1. So you have like a 6 and a 1.
Yeah.
Or
Same if you
if you-
have a dice and you put a 1, it'll give you 2 1s. I noticed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, dude.
Interesting.
It's like split a dice in half. You'll get like you pop in a 1. It'll give you 2 1s. That's kind of cool.
Well, the other thing I want to talk about is actually the creatures. This is one thing that's kind of irritating me a little bit. The creatures. The creature designs are cool, but this is another thing that was kind of like why I also would say this isn't a roguelike. So everything is procedurally generated, and I feel like you can't quite make builds because there's so many times where it's like, oh, you're going against a snowman. He's weak against fire. It's like, well, there was no way I know I'm going against a snowman. And like when you play like the warrior, I don't think he gets any fire spells. So there's so many times you're getting creatures that are like, oh, he's strong against poison. This guy's strong against that, or weak against this. And I'm like, okay, I'm just doing normal attacks. Like that's all my character has anyway. So that's what I thought was weird. I didn't quite feel like I could build my deck in anticipation for things.
I think you mostly can in later chapters, and like in the beginning ones, especially for the warrior, the most you're gonna get is a sword, or then a broadsword, yeah, and then a shield, and then a spiked shield.
Yeah.
But in later ones, you can get I don't know about like fire and ice, but I know there's like you can get like a what is it, an electric sword, or like I forget what the fuck it's called, but it does like if you toss in a 6, it'll be like do whatever damage for your dice. If you get a 6, add 1 stun or whatever. Stuff like that. I know that the most other characters do get like ice and fire though, like for sure the witch and like the robot and shit.
Yeah.
See, but that's where one of the reasons I kind of just didn't like the warrior too, and I thought it was kind of boring overall as far as gameplay is that like I got the witch, and like one of her spells that I got on one run, I think it was called Hall of Mirrors. And it was
Yeah, that
every
was
time I
good.
played a 6, it added one more dice for that fight. So there was one fight that it went on for a while because I had a nice shield spell that I just kept boosting myself with. I think I had like 12 dice that I was
Yeah.
populating every single round. It's just like,
See, I did that too. And then when that happened, I was still like, this sucks. I have 12 dice, and this fight is still taking so long.
well,
That's
because
why I didn't like the witch. I felt like her damage was weak.
because this was my biggest gripe about the overall gameplay is I think all of the mechanics overall are really fun, really dynamic, but I just couldn't get over how punishing the RNG of this game is.
Yeah.
Like, is that every roguelike? For the most part, yeah, that's part of what makes them fun. But there is something about this where every single time it was, you'd go up against an enemy that would have an even and an odd attack, and they would always get a 2 and a 3 or a 3
Yep.
and a 4, and they
Ooh.
perfectly get what they need. Oh, they need to hit that 6 hit you with a stun. They hit it at like a 70% rate. I hit it at like a 15. Like this is where I was getting myself so annoyed because
Yeah.
on that same run that I had like 12 dice in a fight, they were all 4s. Now, is it my own fault for how I had my deck built? I don't know, but it was, I would have to use a 4 to put my shield spell up, but then I needed an odd dice to proc it, and I would have all even dice. So I'm like, great, I have 12 dice, but they do me no good. And kind of like what Andrew was saying, that's part of where I was getting annoyed. But maybe that's me just not strategizing enough with how I placed my spell deck. I'll take some fault there, but I just felt like the RNG was punishing.
I
Yeah.
mean, no. For what made it so blurring for me is the enemy, the Sneezy the Hedgehog. He needs, like, in order for him to really like whoop you, he needs doubles. He throws 3 dice, and if he does doubles, like, he activates like all of his abilities. And guess what? 90% of the time, he has doubles. And I was like, what is going on with this game? Like, and he's like a level 2 boss. Like, he's kind of an easy guy, and he's getting doubles all the time and just smoking me. And I'm like, this feels rigged, which I guess is technically the story of the game.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if it's meant to be like that, to be like, yeah, obviously this game is supposed to be rigged, but it's just, as playing it doesn't make it fun. It was irritating me, especially those people that stun you or freeze you when your dice is frozen. No matter what you roll, it turns into a 1. So there's a couple enemies you're going against, and literally just turns all my dice into 1 all the time, and I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Those runs would irritate me. That's when I would start to get pissed off in this game.
Yeah, man. The more you play it, though, the more you kind of start to learn. Like, there are some patterns, especially in the first, I think, couple chapters for each character. Like the chests that you get, like in the base game, in the first couple of chapters, the items you get in the chests are all like set. Like those aren't randomized. Like you'll get those to kind of help wean you into how the game works and shit. And there's weird ones like, say, spatula, where it lets you flip a die to like the other face. You have to kind of learn to use those in tandem with how the enemies play, because one of the fucking most bullshit ass enemies is that one like space trooper guy who it's like count. It starts off at 20, and when he counts all the way down, he does
he
like
hits you for like 15.
Yeah, dude. Like that's
absurd.
yeah.
That guy.
And if you don't do enough damage to him, by the time this shit counts down, you're basically dead. But you can also use your you can also kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, like prioritize fighting every enemy, or like fuck, how do I yeah, because like when you level up, you go all the way back to full health, and if you have like an apple or 2 on the map still, you can be like, okay, I might as well just go fight this guy and then level up, get full health back, save those apples for the next 2 enemies and shit like that.
Yeah.
I
will say that's the thing. The map strategy too, when you're actually like moving your character around and you're deciding whether to go to a shop or engage an enemy, whatever. I felt like the strategy of it was super minimal. Like they're really, you're not breaking the IQ bank here trying to figure out what your next move is. Is your full health? No, you're not going to eat the apple and gain health. So it's kind of like, it was kind of like there wasn't a ton of like branching paths. I felt like every floor essentially had like 2. Like, do you want to go to the left here and fight maybe some extra enemies? And at the end of that road, there's a chest. Or you want to go right and just keep progressing the game. So I felt like it was like, I don't know.
Well, so though, I do start to think though that like in some ways, especially the witch, like you can modify her spell book between fights, and obviously it would I think, right? I'm not.
Well, you
making
can
that up.
modify anyone between fights if you have the items.
Well, that's true too. So, like, I guess I'm just thinking about or strategizing each enemy you fight a little bit. So, like, yeah, you see the Yeti, you know the Yeti that he's gonna freeze your dice all the time. So maybe you stack all of your most powerful stuff on the number 1 for the witch for the fight against him, and then you go up against someone differently who, turns things flaming, or has the fire stuff. Like, it would prolong the runs for sure. But I do think that's part of like what you were saying, Aaron, is like learning even like that spatula flip, because I saw that thing, I was like, nope, that seems too complicated, it doesn't do damage, I don't want to do it. I was like, everything I was like, I want to add damage. So that's probably a lot of where I got myself into a lot of trouble, because I didn't use a lot of utility items, so to speak.
Yeah, they'll save you, man.
You were that kid in Pokemon who always got rid of Growl because it didn't do any damage.
Yeah, man.
Unless you're playing competitively, Growl doesn't fucking matter at all.
That's true. Well, I'm using it as an example.
Tail whip.
Yeah.
Tail whip. Yeah, I don't know. So that was kind of my complaint. I just felt like the strategy aspect of Dicey Dungeon was kind of minimal. So as you're saying, Keith, of like, yeah, you see a snowman, but it's not like I have a backpack of like 20 different tools I can like pick between. It's very much just like, oh, in my backpack, I have like 2 different types of things. And guess what? None of them are fire. So it's like, whatever. I guess I'm just going to charge the snowman and hope RNG for him, doesn't completely bend me over a barrel. But spoiler, it does.
Every single time.
But I got to say, I actually liked the enemies. So the enemies are kind of a cool design on them.
Yeah, I like the little flaming marshmallow guy. He's really, really cool.
Did you ever read the descriptions? Like, you actually have like a bestiary.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever read like... The description's actually pretty funny.
It's got like their favorite foods and shit.
yeah. With the marshmallow guy, it's like, don't ask a flaming marshmallow his favorite food. Like, that's just, I think it said like that's mean or racist or something like that. And it said like why he joined the dungeon, and it was like 401k and unlimited fireplace like access. And then there was like the troll that throws rocks. He joined the dungeon because he wanted more rocks. His greatest fear is running out of rocks. His favorite things are rocks.
Me too.
Like, literally everything about it was just rocks. It was actually kind of funny.
Man, and the fucking music in this game too is just slamming. Some of those battle themes are just fucking ridiculous, man. It's all on like Spotify and shit, I'm pretty sure. So people, please listen to it because it's really, really good.
Is it? I gotta look this up. Yeah, it's super like high tempo.
Fuck yeah. Or like when you're on the world, or not the world map, when you're on the map, some of those are really, really chill. Like the icy one, that's really,
it is
really
on
good.
Spotify.
Yeah, the library one is really good. I can't think of any of the names of any of the battle themes. I think one's like Time to Kick It Up or something stupid. I forget.
Step Right Up.
Step
Tempting
Right Up.
Fate.
There we go. Step Right
Against
Up.
All Odds.
Against All Odds is a good one too. And the art style is really fucking cool too. It really makes it stand out from a crowd with how hand drawn it is. I forget what the artist's name is again, but she does a lot of really, really cool stuff. I'm gonna look it up real fast.
I didn't see the artist was. I mean,
Chip
from what it looks like, this was it?
That's what it says on the album name, Dicey Dungeons.
No. Oh, the artist of the music or the artist of the design?
That's what I don't know. I was just throwing that out there. So that was the artist on this.
But yeah, I really enjoyed the music of this game. I'm lost. Where's my page? There we go. Yeah, the music, like, this is a thing. You don't need to listen to music. So this game really is. I remember my brother before he was like, this is a mobile game. This game actually is a mobile game. Like, I actually, if you play this on xCloud, which I mostly did, it works great. Whereas, Aaron here also described that you can just buy the game too. I think it's like $10.
I think so. It's on sale
sure.
a lot on Switch and Steam. I'm pretty sure. Like on Steam, you can get it for like $3. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Steam like practically gives games away.
Yeah, this would be a really good Switch game too, though.
$5. That's what it is on Google Play. It's $5.
Oh, Marlo Daub. That's the artist.
That's a graphic artist, or
yeah, that's who does the Yeah, like the art design and everything for the game. There we go.
Yeah. The art design of this game, like you said, Aaron, it's really nice. It's super striking. It's odd. Like, to me, it's the enemies that are like the most striking because they're buck wild. Like, they make no sense. Like, you got like this tiny frog with a sword. It's like, what does this have to do with like a dicey dungeon? You have a snowman that looks very flamboyant with like these snowballs in his hands. You have a guy with a giant boombox for a head. It's like these enemies are just
yeah. Yep.
like, there's no rhyme or reason to these enemies.
Hated the seagull.
The seagull.
Oh yeah, the seagull. Yeah, it was like the loudmouth seagull or something like that. He had like headphones on.
And there's
Yeah,
like
he
the
was
old
one of the
man
ones.
wizard guy or something.
Yeah. I like, for one of the final bosses, a Girl Scout cookie, or like, a Girl Scout selling cookies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. The artist also did the art for the game Floppy Nights, which I don't know if that's still on.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if that's
I
still
never
on
played
Game
that
I
Pass
game.
or
see
not.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's a
never
really
thought
cool
about
game.
that.
That one's awesome.
Isn't Floppy Nights kind of a
I can see that
creature
now.
capture game?
Kind of ish. It's like a turn-based strategy game, but you have like different decks of cards that have different types of monsters, and you can, I think you craft or buy more monsters from that deck or something like that.
This was
Pretty
on
sure.
Game Pass, wasn't it?
It was.
It was a
Is it not
while ago.
anymore?
I think I played like 30 minutes of it because I remember this.
Yeah, Floppy.
Is
Yeah, it's not
Floppy
Game
Nights
Pass
a
anymore.
roguelike? People ask. Is this a deck building or roguelike game? Not quite.
It is not a roguelike. It's like there's
I
a
don't know. Is it?
I mean, it could be.
but I guess yeah, like it's more or less like a Fire Emblem type game with cards and shit. It's awesome. Though.
But yeah, and then the achievements for Dicey Dungeon are okay. There wasn't anything crazy for the most part. If you're just playing this game and beating the dungeons, like that's generally all the achievements. You have a couple to do like X amount of damage at the end of a fight, but overall, yeah, the achievements aren't too bad for achievement hunters. If you're looking for like complete time to beat for Dicey Dungeons, you're looking between 26.5 hours to 43.5 hours, which makes sense. I mean, just base game, you got the 6 dice, and each dice have 6 episodes, and then of course you got the added DLC. So there is quite a bit of content in this game.
And that DLC is definitely worth looking into, man. Like it comes with the game. You pay nothing at all extra for it. So even if you buy the game outright, it comes with the DLCs. And yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, they say no, we don't want your money.
Like
Just
that.
get
I mean,
more
hey,
Dicey.
Vampire Survivors, same thing. Oh no, they did have the one paid
have
DLC for $2.
No, they have like 3 paid DLCs now, Keith.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they have like 2 story. No, I think 3 story now. Because
They have a
one
ton
of
of
them,
free ones too. I just know
oh yeah,
that.
then they have a ton of free ones.
So I guess I was just playing the free ones. Anyway,
Yeah, that was a bad example, Keith.
apparently.
Oh, let's get to our final thoughts here and our final score. Dicey Dungeon. So like I said, I was expecting a little bit more roguelike elements. I was expecting more of like unlocking things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like I said, the best thing about Dicey Dungeons, this is a game you can play today and be like, that was okay. Put it down and pick it up in a month. And guess what? You'll probably be just as good at this game. It's not that hard. It's easy to learn. It's just, you take it in bite-sized pieces. This is definitely not a game I could see someone be like, I just put 8 hours in Dicey Dungeon yesterday.
Yeah. Yep.
Like if you do, like you need to find some other game. If this is like the top game, sorry, I'm not. If this is your top game, I don't mean to make fun of you for it. But the biggest stretch I think I played was 2 hours. And at the end of that 2 hours, I was like, I need to see something else. And it's not that I wasn't disliking this game, but it just didn't. That's what the thing of like with a roguelike that I normally think of, like Slay the Spire. My first thought is always, I want another run. I need to do it again. I want to try to build myself in a different way. I didn't feel that way with Dicey Dungeon. Dicey Dungeon was kind of like, I'm just going to play. Hopefully the game lets me win is more what I felt like. I didn't feel like it had as much strategy to it, but it's still fun. I still enjoyed it. It was a great in-between game. Yeah, for me, I'm going to give this a 75. I think a 75 of a score is pretty decent.
Yeah, man. It's definitely not a grindy game like, Enter the Gungeon or Slay the Spire or I don't know why I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head. Vampire Survivors. It's not like any of those. Deep Cut, Wild Frost. It's not grindy
Ooh.
or like one more run like any of those.
I still need to
Um,
pick that up. I remember you talked about that game a lot during
it's
the episode we're on.
it's
That
one of
game
the
looks
best,
so
man.
good.
It's awesome. Um, yeah, I'd say that like Dicey Dungeons is kind of like, yeah, just like you said, it's one of those games you play in between games, almost kind of like when I think about like how each chapter, instead of being like a chapter, it's like an episode. It's kind of like a TV show. You know, you binge an episode and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna go fuck off for like play another game for 15 minutes and
That's a
then
good
come
example.
back to it. like
Yeah.
like watch an episode, leave, come back, play another episode. You kind of feel like you can, I guess, you feel like you accomplish quite a bit in that like maybe 15 minutes it takes you to complete an episode or two. Um, but yeah, I would recommend it to people, especially if you want a new game to play on mobile, because the mobile version is really awesome.
And man,
Uh,
I just looked up Steam for Wild Frost again. They have a bundle. You can get Wild Frost and Balatro for $30.
you already have Balatro, don't you? Though.
Yeah, I know, but still, if
You could give
if
the
someone's
key
out
to
there and you don't
somebody.
own both of those games, that's a deal.
That's a steal. I think on
What
its
is-
own, Balatro was like $25, isn't it?
Is it? I thought I only paid.
15.
I thought I only paid 15 for it on Xbox at least.
Yeah, Wild Frost is 20.
But
Anyway.
I mean, don't get me started on Balatro. Like, so if we're gonna talk about roguelikes, this is where, like Andrew was saying, this is not a game I feel like I can just, even if I can't play any of these games for 5-6 hours straight, like there are some games in the roguelike genre, and this is what appealed to me, is that just that like one more run. And while there's nothing bad about Dicey Dungeons. It's really, aside from my gripe about the RNG, I think it's overall, it's a really good game. But I think you guys have both said it already, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse. It's just that, yeah, it doesn't have the same hooks as a lot of other roguelikes might do for me. So I think it's worth playing, whether you're big into them or I don't know, you just want a simple game too. I think I could recommend this to a lot of people because it's very simple to play, even if it can be a little bit more intricate the deeper you go into it. But yeah, I think if I were to give it a score, I would say an 80. It's, I don't know, it's just at a base level, it's a roguelike, so I'm gonna do that. Thanks, Javi. I don't believe in abusing animals, dead or alive, though. Yeah, I think 80 is like my base score. It's like my Donnie score.
It really is.
It's like I won't go below that.
80's like your score of like when you don't really know what to give a game. You're just like, 80. That's
80.
There we go.
No, because I really do like it. It's just that there's nothing remarkable about it, and that's probably the simplest I can narrow it down to, is that there's just nothing remarkable. There's a lot of fun little elements, but there's nothing about it that I'm like, this is super cool, or like you're never gonna believe like this is this thing I just learned playing it. Like there's things that 150 hours into Balatro that I'm like, oh, I just learned that I could do that. Oh, that's not even how many hours I have into it. Let's not talk about that. But my point is that there's moments where I'm like, holy crap, I didn't realize that worked that way, or I could do this thing. Like there's just cool little light bulb moments, and it makes you feel smarter, even if it took you the longest path to get there. So those are the types of games that get like really hook me and get me into that like one more run type mentality in this genre. Really what I love about them. Dicey Dungeons is just fine. There's nothing bad about it. It's a lot of fun, and the music, we talked a lot about it, but shortly, I feel like at the same time, it's awesome. It really is. There's nothing that stands out to me, but now that I know it's on Spotify, I would actually go listen to it there, and I probably will, because I know that I liked it. I just can't remember any of it.
Oh, dude, put on Against All. Here, I'll make you a little playlist. I'll find my 3 favorite songs and I'll send them to you. And yeah, you're gonna learn today.
Well,
hell yeah!
Become Google Friends with him and send it via Google Play.
Oh yeah.
I can't. I have an iPhone.
You have an iPhone Play. I don't know what iPhone calls it, but how many friends lists do you have
iPhone
on
Oh,
your
Play,
Game
dude.
Center. I think I
Game
used
Center?
to have my brother on there because it actually used to be somewhat tracked.
Damn
He
it.
was the only person. I don't know. I don't even think it exists anymore.
Fuck, my bad. I have the free version of Spotify, so I can't pick individual songs.
Just send me the titles or send us the title on Twitter,
Yeah.
publicly or privately, however you feel like.
Privately, very privately.
You don't want people to know your darkest secrets.
See, I feel like this game, best way to describe it, it's vanilla ice cream. It's pretty good. It just doesn't do anything that amazing.
Rainbow
Yeah.
sherbet,
Like it's definitely not as in
Rainbow
depth
sherbet?
or like
Who even eats rainbow
sherbet.
sherbet, Keith?
delicious.
It's definitely not very in depth. It's not. I mean, no, it's challenging. It's not in depth. It's not grindy. It's not a game you'll spend a lot of time on in like one sit down. But yeah, it's a good little palate cleanser. It's like vanilla ice cream. Sometimes you don't want chocolate. Sometimes you don't want fucking Superman. Sometimes you want vanilla.
Hold on, but I gotta go back to what Keith said. Keith, do you actually eat rainbow sherbet?
Not on a regular basis, but it is delicious. I
the only time I've
got
ever eaten
lime
rainbow
soft
sherbet is when
serve
it's
the
like in
other
fruit
day,
punch.
and I've thought about no other ice cream since. And I don't even really like ice cream, but lime soft serve was the greatest ice cream I've ever had. So,
Dude, lime is good.
lime flavored anything is good. Yeah, no, that's the starting point, and then lime soft serve.
Really? Lime
Really
flavored
kinda changed-
toothpaste?
Probably, I don't know. Make it work. It wouldn't be mint lime. And actually, mint and lime are delicious together. Have you had a mojito?
Hey, yeah, mojito is pretty
Okay.
fucking
Oh, yeah,
refreshing.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh man, no,
That's a great
well,
point. Thank you.
She's not here, but she will be back. My wife, Liz. This is okay. What's the number one drink you guys drink? Or what's the number one drink you guys get when you have chocolate chip cookies?
Milk?
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone is milk. For whatever reason, Liz, it is lemonade. She wants lemonade with her chocolate chip cookies, and I think it is the weirdest thing. I remember we were dating, and she brought that up.
What the fuck?
That's
She- Does she grow up in the wastelands? What the fuck?
If
you ever want to come on for a good food debate, we'll bring you on for a Liz episode.
Dude, okay. We'll do it.
She categorizes food. Liz, but anyway, we did have a recent Apple review, so I would ask her what Liz is. Mythical Maker. She will return. We just recently had a baby, and the baby's very fussy, so we'll be getting somebody to watch the child for us so she can be on some episodes. She will be back. But Aaron, thank you so much for joining us.
Hell
Where can
yeah.
everyone find you?
If they need to, they can go to, of course, I'm on Spotify, whatever, yeah, superpodnetwork.com/Superpod Saga. You find all of my socials there, well, our socials, it's me and Jerry now. Find all of our socials there, any player links, all that shit. If we're on like every podcast player out there, if we're not on one that you want to listen to us on, just hit me up and I'll find a way to get on there, God damn it. I don't have an iPhone, but God damn it, I'll get onto iPhone apps.
Where can people find your Google Play?
Let me find my. I don't remember what the fuck my name was on Google
So
Play.
people can add you on Google Play.
I'll fax it to everyone. I'll send you a fax. Yes, superpodnetwork.com/Superpod Saga. All my stuff is there. Previous episodes. We run a pretty mean blog. We be typing some shit. Check it out.
It's real mean. You might get yelled at.
Real mean. I think Mole Mania is the greatest game on the Game Boy. And that's just it. Publish.
It's just one sentence capitalized. There you go. You're like, that's a good blog.
Just copy and pasted the title into the body. There we go. Print.
That's all people read anyhow.
Yeah. Concord canceled after fucking 2 weeks. Fucking Bob Ross ate my ass at Denny's. Fucking 3 a.m. Skibbity. I don't know.
But I'm in the Hardcore Gamer Roast Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live, Firebird0952. Join, go to GamePassGrandMag.com. We have all our links there. Come, our Facebook, our Twitter, our Discord. Me and Keith are on there a lot. Come say hi. Come join our live recordings. We do this every Tuesday. But yeah, like I said, Liz will be back. But we still have a bunch of other guests coming up. We've got some stuff coming in. So yeah, Keith, go.
I've been Keith. God, I'm gonna ruin it.
You're
I was
already
gonna
ruining
read.
this.
I am. It's all right.
No,
The
you're
AI
doing
will
great.
fix
It's
it.
all right. It's all right. Don't
The
listen
A-
to him.
Nope.
I'm just gonna start the music.
There was a day before critic review that I was gonna read.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna play you out, Keith, if you don't hurry up.
Crap, my mouse is acting up.
All right, here we go. Come on, Keith.
It's great audio. Great audio, everyone. So just a reminder, there's a reason that the phrase buyer beware remains relevant, and it's because of games like The Day Before. The only bright side to its miserable existence is you can no longer purchase it. Early access score 1 of 10.
That was awful, Keith.
Hey, it's a good PSA. Buyer beware.